real people are making consistent income without the comfort of that monthly paycheck. Today, I want to share 10 realistic recurring revenue side hustles, starting with the one that's at the top of everyone's list, software. And while AI has certainly made creating your own software easier, one of the most popular recurring revenue episodes we did was with an entrepreneur who took an even simpler approach, just white labeling somebody else's software. No startup costs, no development costs, great margins, and just like SaaS, software as a service, monthly recurring revenue. For Chris Lalini, he found a reputation management software that he liked, the kind that helps small businesses collect more positive customer reviews. And then all he had to do was go out and sell it. Are you comfortable giving a sense of the size of the business today in terms of revenue on a, I guess, monthly basis, if that's how you track it?
It's multiple six figures and the profit margins are extremely healthy. And so, the good majority of that goes right into my pocket, right?
It was funny. We had done a bunch of episodes on white labeling physical products, but never digital ones. And that episode got a lot of attention because he was able to buy seats or licenses to the software at essentially wholesale prices and then resell them at retail, making that margin in the middle and providing a layer of support and consultation for customers. Like we've said on the show before, if you want recurring revenue, you got to solve a recurring problem. And the next side hustle is a great example of that. Yes, it's a pet waste removal business.
I think I was only charging $55 a month, which boiled down to like $13.75 a week.
Yeah.
And that was just enough to pay me. And I had my little Cobalt with my magnets, but quickly learned that I needed to raise my prices. So gradually I started to raise. And how I did that was when I was getting new customers, they would get the new rates. Because I was still kind of scared to raise my old customers, like my original 12. Now, like you said, I'm at like $99 a month. That's the average ticket price for the customer.
So number 2 on our list is what I'm calling a local subscription service side hustle. And cleaning businesses are perfect for this because stuff just keeps getting dirty. It could be a weekly pet waste cleanup business like Erica's. It could be a daily commercial cleaning service. We've even seen guests getting paid to sweep up litter from parking lots as a recurring service. House cleaning examples where the business owner contracted with other cleaners to fulfill the work and build a little house cleaning agency. The other example of a local subscription service we had recently was Chef Jessica's personal chef service, where she said a typical rate might be $500 per week per client, with clients tending to stick around for a long time after they get used to your cooking. And just because you've sold a subscription service doesn't mean you necessarily need to be the one doing the actual work all the time, because I get that pushback as well. Hey, it just sounds like I signed myself up for another job. But in that episode with Erica, she talked about bringing on other team members to help with the actual scooping so she could focus on marketing and operations. So that's number 2, the local subscription service. And next on my list is a similar strategy, but taking it online. The example here is Eric Dingler's digital marketing agency, where his local SEO services can be $500 a month or more. But we've seen productized service offerings in anything in everything from content writing to graphic design to video editing and more. Again, recurring revenue comes from solving that recurring problem. In Eric's case, the Google ranking engine is constantly changing, constantly evolving, so clients outsource that work to his team to stay on top of it.
But for our monthly recurring, where we go and we say, hey, listen, we can manage this for you. Now you're going to create the content and post it so it's automated and done for 3 months, things like that. Or better yet, how I do it is I now have a team that does this. I've got an amazing person on my team from El Salvador. She's a rock star, and this is all she does for us. She only does local SEO content. She creates it. She meets with the clients once a quarter, does a strategy session, maps out their content. She can do 2 of these a day. And we typically charge around $750 a month.
Eric also touched on something crucial, showing up proactively with results. In the agency world, that's what separates the long-term winners from the churn and burn operators. Next up, by the numbers is one of the most popular side hustles in the world, and that's rental property investing. One property can pay you month after month, year after year. You can slowly build up this cash flow and long-term wealth. But where it really becomes a ticket to early financial independence is when you start to stack the cash flow from multiple properties.
So I started investing back in 2006, bought my first property, it made me money in cash flow every single month. I said, great, I got to get 10 of those. So if I make it $300 a month with one property, then that's $3,000 a month with 10 properties. That's great. Just like if you find a good side hustle, you just replicate that same thing over and over again. So fast forward now to where we're at now, I have over 30 properties that are making me money. I still own the ones that I bought back in 2006. The first property is always the hardest because you got to prove it to yourself that it works. You got to get the money, you have to build the business, all that sort of stuff. I've coached, I don't know, maybe over 1,000 students now, how to invest in real estate. And like clockwork, they get their first property, and we can go into the entire business building process to where it can scale, where you can get to 10 properties in 10 years. And I think, honestly, even faster. So my daughter, she's 16 years old, just bought her first property 3 months ago. It's making $300 a month. And this is the plan that I have for her. Buy one property, get that passive income coming in every single month, $300. Do not spend it. Like, do not go out and buy this or buy that or, whatever.
That's maybe the discipline part of this. Like, I got some of this cash flow and I'm going to parlay that into the next thing.
Absolutely. And so every year we focus on buying at least one more property. And then over 10 years, if you do that, 10 years, you have 10 properties, and hopefully each one are make you $300, $400, $500 a month or more in passive income.
I like Dustin's call to focus on cash flow from day one, not appreciation, and to put the key players in place before you ever buy that first property. In his case, that's property managers, contractors, handy persons, realtors, mortgage brokers. And fun fact, real estate was actually one of my first side hustles where I followed pretty much none of Dustin's advice, had only $100 a month cash flow cushion, and was banking almost entirely on appreciation. That one ended up working out, but it was definitely one of those examples where it was better to be lucky than good. But that's real estate recurring revenue side hustle number 4 on this list. And maybe we could even broaden that to include other rental businesses, like we've done episodes on mobility scooters and photo booths and portable hot tubs. But the idea is similar. Get paid over and over again from the thing you buy once. Sometimes the path to recurring revenue starts with recognizing what you're already good at. For example, Liz Wilcox was doing client work, copywriting work, and email marketing, and she had this realization. Instead of starting over every month with new projects, what if she could create something that people would pay for month after month? That is number 5 on our list, a membership program. These typically range from $5 to $100 per month, sometimes even more, depending on what you're offering behind the paywall.
What if I could create for my email list like this really low responsibility thing and just slowly build it up? That sounds doable. And then within 2 years, if I could get 1,000 people in at $9, that would be $9,000 a month recurring revenue. The way it blew my mind. Like, unlike you, maybe you're listening and you have a 9-to-5. Y'all, I've never had a job before. Like, my last job was at a gas station when I was like 20 years old. And so I've always, like Nick said, every month I'm always starting over. And I've been doing that my whole life. And so at this point in the game,
the mental toll that can take it can be stressful.
It's so stressful. And so I said I was willing to, be patient and wait 2 years for the payoff. And guess what? It definitely paid off.
When we recorded, Liz was over 4,000 members paying $9 a month for email marketing and newsletter templates. Cool example, I thought, of selling your sawdust. What's a byproduct of the work you're already doing? But when it comes to memberships, there are different ways to structure it depending on what your ideal member is going to value. The common saying in the online business world is people come for the content, but stay for the community. So maybe you add some level of member interaction through a Facebook group, through a private forum, through a Discord community. And a membership could be for a product or a service. You probably subscribe to both in your own life. Just going down our list, we got Netflix, Costco, the yoga studio, Dollar Shave Club, KiwiCo, life insurance, all kinds of businesses under this recurring revenue membership umbrella. Paid newsletters could be another example in the online business space. Now, I've long contemplated putting together some kind of membership offering for Side Hustle Nation, but it's analysis paralysis. Not sure the best way to make it really compelling and valuable for you. Definitely open to ideas. Send me a note, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about that. But memberships, that's number 5 on our list of 10 recurring revenue side hustles. Number 6 is websites, which used to be fairly straightforward. Build up this body of informational content in a given niche, rank it in Google, and then earn this relatively predictable, relatively passive income from advertising and affiliate relationships. Now, these types of informational content sites have been having a hard time lately, and that includes Side Hustle Nation. But websites can still be a recurring revenue asset. One model that we've seen to be a little more AI resistant is directory websites, which sounds kind of old school, but in our episode with Frey Chu, he proves there's still good money to be made with directories. The key is finding those underserved niches and then building something genuinely useful with some value-added data. Because after all, if people can get all the info they need from Google Maps, there's no reason to come to your directory.
The major turning moment for that directory was 6 months in. I randomly just pulled up the Google Analytics and noticed there were 1,000 people coming to that website that day. And I just remember staring at it for 5 minutes and being like, what is going on? Like, where is this traffic coming from?
Yes, real, yeah.
At that time, I was like kind of a noob at SEO too. I was learning all the basics. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I did something correct. And I started putting ads that following month, and the traffic kind of steadily came in, and I made $1,200 that month without really doing anything. I did post on Reddit, and I talk about that a lot. Every time I finish an entire directory build, I always find a niche subreddit, and I'll make a post. It'll basically sound like, hey, I made a website to make XYZ easier, or to find X, Y, and Z locations easier. And yeah, that's kind of the only thing that I did. It was responsible for maybe like a few hundred people coming to the website, because that Reddit post performed really well, and people still commented to it on this day, a couple years later. But yeah, really nothing much, nothing too fancy.
Maybe a directory will be your next side hustle. I'll link up that full interview in the description. Number 7 is a side hustle that probably doesn't get enough airtime, and that's product licensing. This is where you can turn your ideas into recurring revenue and get paid every time a major company sells your product idea. And you didn't even have to worry about manufacturing it. Stephen Key's made a career out of renting his ideas to companies that have the distribution and the manufacturing power to bring them to market. He said that 5% of gross sales is a pretty typical product licensing agreement, which might not seem like a lot, but if you think about the distribution and economies of scale that some of these larger brands have, it can really add up, especially for something with super low startup costs. I mean, you're taking basically something for free out of your brain and getting paid for it. One thing that might surprise you, it definitely did for me, is that a lot of companies already have a process for this. They're really open to crowdsourcing product ideas from people like you and me, and then paying us for them. For example, if you look up Hasbro Submit Ideas, you're going to find a structured program called Hasbro Spark that lays it out, how it all works, how to submit your proposal. So be sure to check out that full episode with Stephen for more on how it all works, which I'll link up in the description. Number 8 is web design and hosting. And before you say, well, I don't know how to design or host websites, let me offer a gentle reminder that everything is learnable. And after you see the next clip, you might be more inclined to learn it. In episode 550 of the Side Hustle Show, Ryan Golgoski discovered something interesting. Instead of selling websites for thousands of dollars up front, what if he charged a few $100s per month for ongoing design, hosting, and maintenance? This model makes it more accessible to small businesses while creating predictable monthly revenue.
If having a better website that is going to offer a better user experience, is going to better your SEO, there's going to be better conversion optimization on the site. Even if it's just generating for you one extra sale a month, that's extremely conservative way to look at it. It's the service is already being paid for and then some. So it's a pretty simple, easy sell. Whereas like if I were to try to sell a website for $5,000. A lot of people sell websites for even more than that, $10,000. For a company that's not doing millions of dollars in sales, that's like a huge number to them, and it's hard for them to justify. But $180, $220, $300 a month, and they're not only going to get more leads, they're also going to look a lot better. So there's going to be so much more perceived value to their marketplace. They're going to be perceived as the high-end, luxury, most professional service provider.
And you're doing several of these a week at this point, it sounds like, volume-wise.
Yes, yeah. So 20 a month, give or take. Sometimes less, but last year we did 211 new signups, and this year shooting for 250.
Yeah, listeners can do the math on that and say, wow, that's pretty substantial operation. And now, once it's in on the developer's desk, what's their typical turnaround time to get this thing up for approval or up for hosting?
We shoot for about a 4-week time frame for the project, from the time they sign up to the time their site goes live. Over time, you'll really refine your systems, and your fixed costs should be covered by about 2 months of the customer's payments.
Fixed costs covered by 2 months of customer payments, meaning the next 22 months are almost pure profit. Be sure to check out that full interview, definitely one that I refer back to quite a bit and likely replicable in a ton of different niches. The key is that monthly payment includes ongoing value, hosting, maintenance, updates, and support. Our next recurring revenue example is what I'm calling subscription e-commerce. Think Amazon Subscribe and Save, think subscription boxes, think replenishable products in the direct-to-consumer space. Element comes to mind, where once you use up those little salt packets, you're probably going to order more. Dollar Shave Club, gotta keep this head smooth and shiny. Supplements, vitamins. After all, it's easier to sell the same thing to the same customer again than it is to sell to a brand new customer. We had a couple guys on the show last year or the year before, and their product was a replenishable product in the skincare space called Pretty Boy skincare for men. Now, between your initial inventory, your marketing expenses, this is a pretty capital intensive business, but they were using Shopify to encourage subscription purchases, and they found they were able to acquire customers through meta ads for less than the expected lifetime value of the customer profit, right? Now, one thing to keep in mind is the timing of cash flows. It can look great on paper. Hey, a customer's worth $100 over their lifetime. We can buy ads and acquire those customers for $50. That's a no-brainer. We'll spend it all day long, except for Google and Meta want to get paid today, or at least when your credit card comes due at the end of the month, and that $100 lifetime value might not hit your account for a year or two, depending on the timing of those sales. But it definitely makes you think about what kind of replenishable products you buy on a regular basis. Toilet paper, coffee, protein powder, greens powder like Bloom or AG1, shampoo, deodorant, lots of examples in those spaces, but maybe some side hustle opportunity as well to come up with some unique positioning and make a name for yourself. So subscription e-com is recurring revenue, side hustle number 9. Our final example takes a traditional high-touch service and makes it surprisingly scalable, and that's coaching and masterminds. Coaching and masterminds typically require a lot of personal time and attention, and because of that, they're usually higher ticket, like hundreds of dollars a month or more. But Stephen Faust found a clever way to scale personal mentoring with technology. So instead of traditional group calls, which he found he didn't actually love doing, he started offering unlimited one-on-one mentoring through an asynchronous video platform.
What's better than just selling stuff one-off is getting people to pay you every month. And this is maybe a little unorthodox. I stopped doing member calls because mainly I didn't like doing them. I didn't like having to show up. I'm more of a passive income guy, which doesn't really fit memberships. So what I do now is and I sell it this way, included in the membership is unlimited one-on-one mentoring. Unlimited mentoring for $39 a month, plus all the stuff that they get in there as well. So that's the stickiness of my membership, is the once a month workshop and the unlimited one-on-one mentorship.
How do you deliver that?
Exactly. Great question. Great question. And I know you're familiar with this, I'm sure. Video Ask.
I don't know Video Ask.
What's that?
I don't know Video Ask.
Okay, Video Ask. It's a great tool. So they click a button, they can leave a video, they can leave an audio, or they can leave a text. They can choose their own adventure on how they want to communicate with me. They hit the button, it goes into the funnel. Video Ask sends me a notification that says, hey, Susie left you a message in this funnel, this mentoring funnel. Okay. That's for my members. I go in on my phone and I click a button and then I will watch, listen, or read what she says. And I push. I've done this in traffic at a light. I've done it at the supermarket. I just push a button, says, "Hey, Susie, great question. Here's what I would do. Step 1, 2, 3. If you have anything else, let me know." I click a button. It sends her the response. It literally takes a few seconds. It's very low friction for me because people don't overuse it and abuse it. If they did, I'd probably stop doing it.
Okay.
But they don't. And it's really personal and confidential. And it creates a lot of stickiness in the membership because they can get that support when their boss won't help them, or they're just scared, or they don't want to reveal their problems to people around them. And that's how I help them.
Maybe you can layer on a low lift, low friction asynchronous coaching service to your existing offerings. Definitely worth a thought. Now, the common thread in all of these recurring revenue side hustles is to solve recurring problems. That's the way to build some of that predictability of a steady paycheck into your side hustle, so you don't have to start from scratch every month. You're not dealing with that feast or famine cycle of freelance life. The key is picking the model that matches your skills, your interests, the available time that you have. So leave a comment below with the one that seems the most doable for you, and make sure to subscribe for more money-making ideas. Cheers.